Hey, 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 it is an unstoppable day. It's your boy Terrance, the unstoppable coach Leftridge with unstoppable coaching. Looks like we got some technical difficulties here. Hold on, hold on. Let's see. What is happening? What is happening? Go out, bring it back in. Stay right there. Stay right there. Okay, where did I go? Where did I go? Ain't that about a blip? Where did I go? Oh, hell no. All righty. Hey, hey, hey. It is an unstoppable day. It's your boy Terrance, the unstoppable coach Leftridge, with another episode of the Unstoppable Story Show. A little bit of technical glitches there, but you know, if it's Tuesday night, it is the Unstoppable Story Show. So come on in, come on in. Tell a friend that we are live on the air right now. Looking forward to seeing your face in the place here with the Unstoppable Story Show, where we talk to ordinary people with unstoppable stories. We are into September, y'all. Yes, yes, yes. We are into the fourth quarter. So it's not too late for you to be unstoppable. It's not too late for you to use your power. It is not too late for you to finish strong in 2018. How you guys doing? Give you guys a couple of seconds to get people into the room. Give you a couple of seconds. Give you a couple of seconds. Give you a couple of seconds. Let's go ahead and share this out to a couple of people so people will know that we are live and on the air, broadcasting in full HD power. Full HD power. How you guys doing today? We have a great show for you, another unstoppable show for you tonight. So come on, take a few seconds and we're going to invite some people in. We're also simulcasting on the Unstoppable Stories page, but we're doing it directly from my main page tonight because I wanted to get as many people as possible to see this show live, because that's just how important this show is tonight. So as you come on in, tell us who you are, tell us where you're watching us from, and hopefully you'll give us some takeaways from tonight's show, because I know it is going to be a powerful show. And I want to start off right away just by showing you a video of a upcoming event that we're having here in Chicago called The Power of We. And we're going to have the inspirational, innovative, motivational speaker mastermind of this event on our show tonight, Loren Harris. But we are going to go to the video and you'll see for yourself. Here we go. Yes, yes, indeed. We will do great things here at the Unstoppable Story Show and the power of we. Hey, 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 welcome to the broadcast again. That's the Power of We Symposium. It's going to be a great event here on September 20th in the great city of Chicago. And we are looking forward to having you here doing this show. Trying to get this off. Hold on a second. There we go. There we go. September 20th. Technology tried a new thing here on the Unstoppable Story Show, but I wanted to make sure we got that message out. And I want to bring to you the founder and the creator and the visionary spirit of this event, the Power of We Symposium, happening here on September 20th, with the ability to bring in 250 plus young men and women, to give them VIP status at the Stan Mansion and to show them that they have something more than what they're seeing in the world today. We're investing in our future because we know that they are the future. And welcome to the show, the one, the only, the man himself, Mr. Loren Harris. Hey, hey, hey. Mic check,
everybody.
mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Loren?
How are you?
I am unstoppable. How are you?
I'm good. Sorry, I was outside. You know the story.
Yeah, I know. And you know what? And I am so happy that you were able to take a little bit of time to be with us tonight, because I know we are coming around the bend. We are in the final turn. We are less than 20 days away from the Power of We Symposium here in Chicago. And I just wanted to give you the opportunity to come on the show and let our Unstoppable Stories audience know what's really going on with this event. But first, welcome back to the show. And why don't you introduce yourself to our audience?
Oh, hi, everybody. I'm Loren Michaels Harris. I'm a speaker, a coach, and a lover of all things youth-oriented. Um, just real briefly, and I apologize for all the crazy background sounds, but I got stuck in a recording studio actually doing a voiceover for your portion of the show, Terrance. So it's your fault. I'm just kidding. And
I'll take it.
right, and there were some accidents on the highway, and one thing led to another. So I had to pull over, and I'm at Chili's, and my dinner's in there. I finished half of it, and so I had to come outside. But when it gets noisy, I try to go in the foyer. So bear with me, you guys. But yeah, Power of We. 2 weeks from Thursday. Can you believe it?
Yeah, been talking about it for quite some time now, and it is right here. So before we talk about the Power Week, I really want them to get to know you, because this is personal for you. The youth that you are helping in the next couple of weeks is really give back to what you have been given and what you've experienced. So if I know it, as much as you can, in 30 seconds, tell them your story and why this has become so near and dear to you, to give back to the youth of the
Oh
world.
yeah, sure, for sure. Well, personally, my youth was really different than a lot of kids, but then not so different at the same time. My adoptive mother passed away when I was just a little kid, 9, barely 9, and went into the foster system from there 22 homes in all, came out, aged out on the other end. And, it's a wonderful opportunity now in my life to be able to provide some of those opportunities that I had hoped for myself or would have hoped for had I known they even existed. Um, and so that's really what I'm doing. I mean, I know what it was like for me, and even with all that I dealt with, not even close to what these kids today, especially right here in our own backyard, uh, and I'm speaking, of course, those hard hit areas here in the Chicago area. So,
Absolutely.
the best thing about living within your purpose is that you automatically, and it's a great checks and balance system, if you ask me, is that the moment you're inside those arms of purpose, you want to break free of them to get out there and start giving it away to everyone you can. So that's what we're really trying to do with the Power of We, is give these kids and everyone who shows up an experience like none they've ever had.
I love it. We're talking with Loren Harris here on the Unstoppable Stories Show. We're here with Terrance Leftridge. So come on in and shout your name out. Shout where you're coming from. Hey, thanks Mario Lewis for coming in. He's from Flint, Michigan. Kaya Love says hey.
Hey.
Lady Rochelle Dotson here in Chicago. Latoya Jackson from Kentucky. Yes, yes, yes. Dr. Clyde Rivers from I Change Nations. Thank you for tuning in, joining in. So let me put this logo up because I really love this logo. The Power of We. How did you come up with that title, that ideal for this event that you're doing?
Well, I'm going to keep it real because I've been telling the same story since the moment it happened. I can't take credit for it. I'm going to tell you how it happened. I did my first event and I partnered with a marketer. Nothing wrong with marketers, but uh, it was in Las Vegas, and it just, when I left and was on the plane on the way back to O'Hare, it just didn't provide what I wanted. And so I asked God while we were in the air. I literally asked God to give me a mouthful of spiritual Listerine so that I could get that taste of that experience I just had about money, 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 me, out of my spirit. And by the time we landed, he had done just that. He gave me the Power of We concept, and as soon as I promised him, as soon as my feet hit the ground, I was gonna get started. So the very next day, I trotted down to the Stan Mansion because I'd been there. Chera, the owner, is a good friend of mine, and talked to her about a date that would be available in the fall, early fall, and September 20th was available, so I booked it, and here we are.
And here we are, and it's sometimes all it takes is just that action. Sometimes all it takes is just doing something different, learning from
Yeah,
an experience that you didn't like and learning how to do something different to make it an event that really is standing up to what you believe in and the values that you have. So thank you for taking that proverbial Listerine, getting it out of your mouth, but still moving forward to help a population that definitely is in need. There was a statistic that was just in the paper this week, and I think you also posted in one of your Facebook posts. Over the last 2 years, since 2016, there have been 175 shootings of children under the age of 16 just in the Chicagoland area alone.
yeah,
175 innocent, for the most part, young men, young women, just trying to enjoy life in the life of a teenager, the life of the time of exploration and discovery. And they're having to run and duck and hide from bullets that have no name and from people that really have no character. It's a statistic that just saddens me, but that's just Chicago. And I tell somebody I travel all over the country, as do you, Loren. So we we turn on the news in different cities across the country, and we see the same thing happening to our youth over and over again. I assume that's why it's so important for you to do an event like this. But you tell us, why was it so important for you to do it right now?
Did you ask me a question? A loud
Yeah,
motorcycle went by.
I'm sorry. I said, looking at those staggering statistics, I know that's why I think you decided to put on an event like this. But let's hear it directly from you. Why was
Oh,
this so important for
yeah.
you right now to do this
Well,
event?
yeah, Terrence, it was really like, like I said, God said jump. I didn't ask how high. So I really didn't know what I had bitten off. But once I got inside the build out process and I started really hearing not just statistics, but stories from kids that are living it, stories from the people that support them and are afraid for them, but, just stories from people who thought they knew, but really didn't know because a lot of it was based on what they see in the media, and then even my own mindset, was I mean, now I understand why so many people don't get it, because of the fact that during the build out of this event I learned how much I didn't know and how jaded I am
You have become,
and
yeah,
myself. I've got to keep it real. But the thing about it is, it's not just the statistics. It's the stories. The stories, when you talk to kids that have done everything they can against all odds, against insurmountable obstacles, and still they're graduating, and they're not just graduating anywhere. They're graduating in the top 2 to 5% of their class. They're getting full academic scholarships to Ivy League universities, but yet and still, when polled secretly, 7 out of 10 of them reported that their greatest fear was that something was going to cost them their life before the summer was over and they could make it safely to wherever it was they were headed for school in the fall. And I just, I find that unacceptable. And it makes me think, well, if that's what the kids who have done all the right things are feeling and experiencing, and it's their truths, what the heck's going on with everyone, all the kids trying to get to where they're at? What are their stories? And the only
right,
way to find out is to sit down in a safe space and have these conversations with the kids who are living it. And I'm not willing any longer to listen and make my mindset wrap around what the media tells me to. I'm not willing to, just believe the propaganda, and I'm not willing to point the finger and say this is the teacher's job, this is the parents' job. No, it's our job. It's our job. And that's why the power of we is what I call a modern day stone soup story. um, enough already with the, well, when I get to this point, then I'm barely making it myself, so I don't have anything to offer. But
I,
one of the promises of the Creator is the manner in which we treat and bless others is exactly the manner in which we will be treated and blessed ourselves. So I would say, and I highly encourage each and every person within the hearing of my voice to really consider uh, how easy it is to make a contribution to the power of we. It doesn't have to be monetary. That's just the first place we go, because then we have a legitimate excuse. No, if you know that children's story of Stone Soup, it was about everybody in that community bringing whatever it was they had. It might have been a withered carrot, it might have been a half an onion, but separately, we can do great things in this world, but not nearly the things we can do when we come together. Another one of the Creator's promises, where two or more are gathered. So I knew from the get-go, with that promise in place, I know I'm gonna be there, God willing. That's one. So if it's just me and one kid, great things can now happen. But if we don't ever get there, if it's one or none, there is no promise that aligns with that. So I feel like this: if we work on the two, then we'll have the four. When we work on the four, we'll have the eight, so on and so forth. And that's what
yes.
the power of we is all about.
And I love it because it's very similar to what I wrote about a couple of years ago with 10 other brothers from across the country, called The Power of Collaboration. We can do so much more together than we can by ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
You alone, Loren, can do your part. But when we partner Loren and Terrance together, and when we partner Loren, Terrance, and somebody else together, we can do exponentially more together than we can individually. So
Oh, for
that's
sure.
why I hope you guys are looking as it goes across the screen, the website, powerofwesymposium.com. Go to that website and be a part of the solution. You know, they say that you're either part of the problem or you're part of the solution.
Amen.
Two choices. You can either be one or the other, but you just can't sit on the fence. And far too many of us are sitting on the fence when it comes to the lives of our children. So
Right.
I'm hearing a little bit of feedback, Loren. So I don't know if that's the wind or anything like that. But
I don't know. Let me move inside for a minute and see if that works out any better.
okay,
We'll
so
see. Talk.
as you're walking, it's a full day of events on Thursday, September 20th, at the Stan Mansion, and I just love how you came up with this great, wonderful, majestic place to really show these kids that they matter, that they are important, and to give them something that they probably have never seen before. I
Right.
mean, there's many adults that have never been on the inside of a mansion, but Loren Harris is putting over 250 kids front and center in this majestic mansion on the north side of Chicago. Tell us a little bit more about the day of the event itself. What do these kids have in store for them?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You know, when I was a kid, one of my favorite movies, and to be honest with you, still is today, one of my favorite movies of all time is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. So, the Stan Mansion has wrought iron gating around it, and we're gonna, that gate's gonna be locked until precisely 8:15. Although the kids will start getting dropped off between a quarter to 8 and 8:15, and I want them lined up on the sidewalks there. We've let all the mansion owners know, all the neighbors there know that that'll be happening that morning. But when they stand outside that gate before we unlock it, they'll be able to look in and they'll see that red carpet that is extended for them to walk on. They'll see paparazzi at the end, people waiting in tuxes and gowns and everything, waiting to interview them, to give them an experience that they've never had. I remember in that movie when the kids were standing outside waiting for Willy Wonka to let them in, they were busting with anticipation, bursting with all those things that kids should have. That air of looking forward to something that they've never experienced. And I know for a fact, and all of y'all know it too, we always remember a first. You remember your first job, your first boy or girlfriend, your first A, your first marriage. you know, People remember a first.
Yes,
So I
yes.
wanted to create an experience, not just have another speakers event, but another experience where these kids, and not just the kids, everyone under that roof is going to walk in that day one way and they're going to walk out completely changed. I know this to be true because God told me it was going to be. And I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. So
I,
they're going to come in, and from that very first step on that red carpet, I don't want them, they're going to come in, these kids, believing that they're stargazers, looking at all these speakers and MCs and things like that. But they're going to walk in believing that they're stargazers, but they're going to walk out knowing that they're trailblazers. That's how they're going to lead. Because while they're there, they're going to hear every story you could possibly imagine, and how each of us who is here that day, who will be there, sharing our own superpower, how we were right where they were. And this is the one thing for me, it was the power of control. For somebody else, it was the power of adversity, the power of love, the power of tranquility, on and on and on, the power of choice. That thing that spoke to them that said when no one else was there to tell them, I don't care what it looks like, but you get up anyway. That was their superpower speaking to you. And so we want to embrace them, uplift them, edify them, and let them know that we are there for them. There's a mentee matchup program that day, and we're hoping every kid leaves there with a mentor. So there'll be kiosks there where you can sign up to be a mentor. You can sign up to be a mentee. You can do it online. If you're going to be a mentor, of course, you got to get through that background check. So, if you can't pass that, just save yourself some time. I'm just saying. You know what I mean. Find
Yeah,
some other way
yeah,
to help.
yeah.
Find
Let's keep it real. Let's keep
That's
it
real.
real.
That's right. That's right. And and I'm not saying that's but we gotta protect our kids. We gotta protect our kids. And
Yes.
so, but there are still other ways. If you can't do that, you can get on board for the next one. We're already headed to Atlanta for early spring to bring the power of we to the Georgia Tech Center, rather. And I really have a feeling that Houston is after them because I'm getting booked a lot in Houston right now, 3 times in 1 week. And I think that's what they're trying to do, get their hat in the ring for some
I
power
love
of
it.
we. But I want Chicagoland to know this. I don't care how many places we visit with the power of we. The power of we will always live in this town because we are going to continue to create things that adversely, diametrically oppose what the media wants the world to believe is the only thing that is capable of coming out of the Chicago area. We're going to prove it wrong. I don't care how long it takes, and we're going to prove it wrong, saving one child at a time. That's my plan, and I hope you're with me.
And I'm with you. And that's the power of media like programs like the Unstoppable Story Show and events like the Power of We, because it takes other people than the mainstream media, than the people supposedly in control. And we got a lesson
Yeah.
about what it really means to be in control today in Chicago, but that's for another conversation.
Right.
It takes every one of us to step up and show a different face on the situation. If we let the mainstream media tell our story, then our
Absolutely.
story will never be told. And so that's why another reason why I'm glad you invited me to be a part of this event with
Oh, for
you.
sure.
And I'm so glad that we are able to talk about it on the show today. Now you're going to have 12 different speakers throughout the course of the day,
Yeah.
and then you're going to have lunch for the kids. And I just want to go back to this mansion for one more second
Yeah.
because I am a strong believer in that you can't be what you've never seen. And
Right.
I've seen it happen in my life. And you were talking about the first time. I remember the first time I got on a plane. I remember the first time I went to a Caribbean island. I remember the first time and the only time, hint, hint, I got married. So I remember all those things, but I
Yeah.
also remember how I felt during those first in my life. And to be able to now reciprocate and give a young child that same first feeling, man, I know
Absolutely.
you must feel like a proud papa 250 times over, right?
I do, and it's not just with the kids; it's with all the people. I've learned a lot during this build out of this event. I've learned for every person that stepped up, I had to listen and talk to and go through probably 20 to 30 others who talked it, but they still sitting down. They ain't got up. You can have two good feet, but if you don't get up and use them, you might as well have no feet. You see, because
Absolutely.
my birth mother taught me. She told me 10 minutes after meeting me, after 32 years, I'm gonna let you know right now. I don't watch mouths. I only watch your feet, and that's the premise that I move within today. But I've been encouraged 100 times over for every person who has stepped up. Because Terrance, I'm gonna tell you something. Just like when you did the Facebook Live from down in the city with the memorial at
Right.
the corner, and then yesterday here I was coming through the West Side on Cicero after leaving the mansion, meeting with the videographers and the lighting people and all that. I'm minding my own business, looking down, and then I literally see the kid like somebody just picked him up like a rag doll and threw him into the street, dead,
Mm.
dead, dead, and dead.
Hmm.
And I caught some of it when they rerouted us, you know, that fast. And I'm like, it's one thing to talk about it, it's one thing to hear about it. But when you are moving right through it and you see it, it ain't gun smoke, y'all. This is
No,
real life. It's
real
not,
life.
you don't have to go to Bosnia. You don't have to go to Iraq anymore to be in the middle of a war zone. You just have to live in some of these hard hit areas and not know where the safe people are, where the people who support you live. Where's that person that can send me an email or a phone call or just let me know? I may not have any money, but I know how to pray. I told sponsors when they wanted to come aboard for this, if you want to write a check and just put your logo on the back of a t-shirt, you can stay at home because the logo is never going to wake a kid up and say, here, let me give you a hug. A logo is
Yeah.
not going to say, get up today and do the right thing. A logo is not going to say, I don't care what it looks like. I'm telling you, I need you to get up and keep moving forward anyway. People
Yeah.
can do that.
Yes.
Logos don't talk. Logos don't have emotions. They
No.
can't cry. They can't laugh. And they can't support and uplift. But we can. That
Yes.
is the power that we have. So how can we ask God to give us increase into other types of powers? Power of influence, the power of success, and this and the other. If we don't take and use the power that we have, and that's to have dialogue, to have conversation, to let a young person know, I see you, and I feel you, and I'm proud of you. Every
Yeah.
one of us who is
Yes.
alive today can look back over our shoulder to the life we've lived and point to at least one person who, if it hadn't been for them at that opportunity of intersection in our lives, things could have been a lot different for each and
Yep.
every one of us. And we're trying to provide that for these kids.
Absolutely. I can remember, well, I was part of this program called Link Unlimited. It still works here in the Chicagoland area where we put a sponsor together with a child, and that sponsor paid for their education throughout high school, but that sponsor was also supposed to be there to be a mentor. Well, unfortunately, I got the tuition paid for, but I didn't get the mentorship that I was looking for. So, and I know that affected me. I know that affected the trajectory that I might have went on if I'd had that one-on-one mentorship.
Right,
So no, we're not looking for anybody who's looking for some advertisement. We're not looking for someone who's looking
no,
for a tax return, a tax write-off. We're not looking for someone who's just looking to be able to get their name associated in the press with something that's happening. No, we're
right.
looking for people who, someone said to me a while ago, and I say it to everybody else, if the tongue in your mouth does not match the tongue in your shoe, then why should I listen to you?
Okay,
You
that's a
know what
good
I'm
one.
saying?
I might have to borrow that.
Yeah. I give it to you 2-3 times from now.
You,
But that's here's the point. If you're not walking the walk, if you're not talking the talk, then we don't want you here. God bless you. There are many other events probably going on September 20th. Then you
that's
can
right.
attach your logo too. But the power of we means we need you to be a part so that they can see that we are invested in their future because we recognize that they are our future.
That's right. That's right. And Terrance, before we get out of here, let me just say this to y'all. For real. I'm going to just tell you because I had to do it. Before the power of we could even have made it to where you're hearing it now, I had to prove that theory within my own spirit. And then I had to prove it within my own home. And then in my neighborhood, to my neighbors. And then into my community. And then so on and so forth. So you know what? It's time to get up, people. We need more local Chicagoans to get their tickets and come and sit next to these kids. Come and sit next to them. Let them know you see them, that you felt it was worth taking a day off work. Come and invest. Get your tickets. Even if you don't come for the evening part, which you should, because that's a great thing too. That's what Terrance is going to be tearing it up on
All
that
right.
main. Okay, I had a call. Sorry about that. But I
No
want you to
problem.
understand, people, you know, we can talk a good game, but I'm going to point out every empty seat. I'm not taking the chairs up and hiding them in a back room. I'm going to let these kids know. You see those empty seats? That's because you know what? That's somebody that didn't get what you got today. Because if they had ever gotten what you got today, they'd have had their butt in that seat. Because we all know that the manner in which we bless other people is the same way that the Creator will be blessing us. And so if you know in your heart of hearts that somebody was in that intersection, that one day when you needed them to pull you out of traffic, that could have took you out of this world, like it's happening to kids every second of every day in our city and all over the world, all over this country, then you need to prove it. You need to give back at least once and get up and make your way to the Power We and fill one of those seats with your butt. Bring your behind. You see, don't call up and tell, Miss Percy and everybody else, but tell them to come with you. Don't just send people. Bring people. Bring
I,
people. Y'all
I
let
love it.
these kids see that we believe in them. You
Yes,
see what I'm
yes,
saying?
yes.
So,
And
okay.
And the only way that they will know that is by you having your face in the place. So
In
go
the
to the
place.
powerofwe symposium.com. You can sign up to be a sponsor. I think you can still sign up to be a vendor. I
You
know
can.
you can sign up to donate so that another child can be in the room. We've already got 250 there, but we've got a waiting list, and we're trying to get every kid who wants to be there the opportunity to be there. No amount of giving is too small. Again, the power of we.
That's
If
right,
your
Terrance.
five
That's
dollars
right.
and your $5 and his $10 and her $20, as long as it comes together, we can get another child to have their face
That's
in the
right.
place, because we recognize that once they have their face in the place, their lives will never be the same. So, so
Nope.
listen, Loren, I want you to finish eating, and I want you to get home safely. But I want you to talk about the event during the days. We're going to have the 12 speakers, but then the evening we're going to set it on fire with the Power of We masquerade party. So tell them a little bit more about the masquerade party.
Okay, well, the masquerade is a mixer. It is what we're doing is we have five awesome, unique nonprofit organizations from all over the country to show another side of the power of we. These are people who are doing things to change everything from domestic violence with women and children, and women and children who suffer from drug addiction, the fallout from, either the father or the mother or whoever. Um, we have a group, an organization, Journey's Dream, who works with people that have dealt with mental health issues and showing them other ways than being on Halidol and all these pills for the rest of your life, so that they understand it because they've lived through it. We have a high school group of girls, uh, African American girls, called Black is Gold, and they have an awesome nonprofit organization. And these are high school girls, and they are there for the empowerment of young black black is African American, African
Yes,
American women on how to uplift themselves, but also their young black male counterparts, how to bring them up
absolutely.
with you. And I
I
love what
love it.
these people are doing. And there's a couple others that I'll save as a surprise that night. But the reason it's a masquerade mixer is because sometimes when people go to these things, networking, they go home with them but a bunch of cards that they put a rubber band around and never use, because they go in putting on masks, trying to pretend about something. I need to meet that person, or what can I get through
Right.
them. So I figured, let me take that out of the equation. To get in the door at the Masquerade Mister, you can go right downstairs to the Chicago Fantasy Costume Company. They'll have a kiosk downstairs in the ballroom with the vendors, and you can buy a mask. 20% of the sales, if you want to get it online beforehand, 20% of all the mask sales go back to our kids. And I'm putting the mask on you so you don't have to. So just come on in and be real. Get real.
Yeah,
You
I
don't
love it.
get to you don't get to tell anybody who you are or pass a card until after you've had that first date, where you get to know a person just from talking to them. It's all about that conversation, that healthy dialogue. And then in between these 10-minute segments, as you get to meet up close and personal these fantastic nonprofits, you're going to be entertained all through the night by Pia Renee Easley, a Chicago native, and she's a American Idol contestant, and she's bringing her band, and they are going to knock it out of the park. The show in the evening is going to be opened by Cheryl Angela. She is a great friend of mine. She just called in on here a second ago, and she has been with the Lisa Nichols organization out in San Diego for about 8 years,
Oh, okay.
playing harp for all of Lisa's events, and she's going to open it up for us. So we've got some great things, and I'll say this: we've got some surprise celebrity guests coming, and I ain't telling you who that is either. But I tell you what, you know them when you see them. I'll tell you that much. So
All
just a
right.
wonderful time for all, and of course we have you. Terrance and Lee Ming Hung from the Riverside, California area, coming all the way in here to share the spotlight with you that night on our main stage in the Masquerade Mixer.
Well, it's definitely going to be a great time. And as you can see, the information is going across the screen. You can't
Oh,
miss
yeah.
it
Wait.
unless you're blind
Bar,
and you.
full bar, and hot hors d'oeuvres
Okay.
that night, too. That's how I
You
put
know
that in
what?
there.
What else do you need and where else should you be on
That's what I'm
Thursday
saying.
night? That's what I'm saying too. You've got Loren, you've got the kids, you've got the worthy cause, you've got the entertainment, and even I'll be there. So if you really just needed one more
It's
reason,
unstoppable.
it's an unstoppable event. So September 20th, 2018, the Stan Mansion in the historic Logan Square area of Chicago.
Yes.
Get all the information by going to the Power of We Symposium, powerofwesymposium.com. And you don't have to spell it out because it's right there on the screen.
There you go.
Just go right there, get the information, do what you can to be, again, a part of the solution instead of part of the problem. Loren, any final words before I let you go back and gobble up your food?
I just want to see everybody show up. We're not asking you to march on Washington. We're not asking you. There ain't
To
gonna be
march on
no
the
police
Kennedy?
dogs. There ain't gonna be no. There's not gonna be a bunch of hoses on us or any of that. But you know what? That's what it took for us to have these freedoms. We standing on the shoulders of. That's what it took. We don't even have to do that now. You see what I'm saying? All I'm asking you to do is get out your debit card, get out your Visa, call your granny, call somebody, get your ticket, and get to this Stan Mansion on September 20th and sit your behind next to one of these kids and give them some love. Love up on them so that you can prove that you know how to love yourself. Because if you can't love somebody else, it's probably because you don't know how to love yourself. You can get some of that day too. So come on with it. Come on, y'all.
And weather ain't gonna be an issue either. It's still gonna be warm here in the city of Chicago. So don't say it's too cold to come to the Windy City.
That's right.
No matter what the weather is, it's not about the weather. It's not about the celebrities. It's not even about the masquerade ball and the hors d'oeuvres. It's about the kids. It's about investing in their future, and again recognizing that they are our future. Loren Harris, thank you so much, my friend. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to continue to promote it for the next 2 weeks, and I can't wait to see your face in the place on September 20th.
Come up and say hello, everybody. I want to meet every one of you one-on-one. Thank you, Terrance.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Loren.
Have a good night.
That's Loren Harris, the innovative creator of the Power of We Symposium that's going to take place here September 20th, 2018 at the Stan Mansion in historic Logan Square here in Chicago. Go to the powerofwesymposium.com, powerofwesymposium.com, and we can't wait to see you there. As Ramonski Love always says here in Chicago radio, don't meet us there. You better beat us there. All right. Thank you so much, Loren. I appreciate you guys. Let me see. Let me look at some of these comments. Lauren Radcliffe, she said, amen. Amen. Lady Rochelle gave the emoji. Thank you, Lady Rochelle, for tuning in. Thank you, Lorraine, for tuning in. Amazing. Yes, it is going to be an amazing night. And you definitely, if you can be there, you definitely should be there because you're going to make all the difference to these young men and women. September 20th, 2018, powerofwesymposium.com. I'm looking forward to seeing each and every one of my Unstoppable family there. And if you can't be there, just consider donating so that somebody else can be there. So needy young man or young woman will have the opportunity to see something that they've never seen before. Looking forward to seeing you there at the Power of We. All right, so it was a great show. I'm so glad that Loren was able to come in briefly to talk about the show and to talk about this wonderful cause. That's what we do here. We bring on ordinary people with unstoppable stories, people who are doing great things in the community, in the country, in the world. And it is going to be a busy couple of months for your boy, Mr. Unstoppable. So I want to talk to you about a couple of things that are coming up this week that I am proud to either be a part of or to promote. And one of the things that is coming up this Saturday, I want you to go out to if you're here in the Chicagoland area, why don't you go in at the Lakeshore Center? 40 vendors from across the city are going to be there talking to you about entrepreneurship, talking to you about starting your own business, talking to you about what it takes to stay in business, talking to you about taxes, talking to you about becoming an author, talking to you about starting your own business, travel business, investment business, banking business, whatever you can think of as an entrepreneur. There's going to be someone at the Self-Employment Expo that will be able to talk to you about that. You can get your tickets by going to selfemploymentexpo.com. You see it right there on the screen, the selfemploymentexpo.com this Saturday. And it is a what event? It's a free event. Can somebody say free? Yeah, it's a free event. All you do is you got to show up. The event is free, but the information is priceless. So we hope to see you there. I'll also be there emceeing, and I have a booth there with the copies of the Moving from Past to Purpose book, You Are Unstoppable, and all the other books in the Unstoppable coaching umbrella. So we hope to see you there on Saturday. But then Sunday, it ain't over. It's just going to be a power-packed weekend. It's coming up on Sunday, September 9th at 4 p.m. I am so proud, I'm a proud papa. I am so proud to say that the stage play is now in a DVD series, none other than the stage play Couples, loosely based off of the book Do You Love Me Still by a great friend of mine and former client of mine, Dorian Nash. Yes, she took it from a book to a stage play, and now she's taking it to the big screen. And she can tell you more about it than I can. So let's welcome to the show the one, the only Dorian Nash. Mic check, mic check. Can you hear me?
Mic check. I hear you. You hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. How you doing, Dorian?
I'm doing great. Well, since I'm an author now, and a playwright, I go by the name. My moniker is Dorian H.Nash. Don't forget
that. Okay. Dorian H, and the H stands for Hallelujah Nash.
Hallelujah. Yes, yes.
How are you, sweetheart?
Oh, doing wonderful. Thank you so much for having, a couple of minutes to talk about couples. We are so excited about what's about to happen. Sunday, as you mentioned earlier, at Studio Movie Grill, we are going to be in the place. You all know where it's at, 210 West 87th Street, right there of 87th and Dan Ryan. It used to be Chatham Theater. Now it is Studio Movie Grill, 210 West 87th, 4 p.m. Couples, Secrets, Truth, and Love. For those who've already seen it, come again. For those who didn't see it, here's your chance. You'll get a DVD as a keepsake from the event. You get to talk to the cast. We have a Q&A, take pictures, kind of like a semi-red carpet thing. It's going to be awesome.
I love it. Now, I said that it was loosely based upon the book, Do You Love Me Still? This
I love it.
award-winning
Yeah,
book
you still get
done
that
by,
book at Amazon.com.
yes, the great couple, the dynamic duo, the everyday married couples, Sean and Dorian H. Nash. Great
Go.
book. Great book. And then you always said, we weren't even finished writing the book. And you were like, Terrance, I'm going to do a play. And 6 months later, you brought it to the stage, and you did it earlier this year in Hyde Park, and it was a fabulous play. It was sold out, and
both nights.
Now you're about to sell out the movie studio. You get your popcorn in advance.
There you go. From your lips to God's ears. That's what we're striving to do. It has been quite a journey, and it's not over.
No, it's only just the beginning. I see film festivals. I see Oscars on your shelf, and maybe I get invited. I'll
I
come over
love
and wipe it for you. Just polish it up for you a little bit. Yes.
it.
So, you know
Oh,
what?
see.
Give them a brief idea for those who didn't see the play, and give them a brief idea. What's the plot of the play?
Well, see, there's layers to couples, right? So obviously, when you hear the term couples, you're going to think about couples. But the reality is, we're talking about a few themes. We're talking about a dynamic between, baby mama drama. We're talking about a dynamic between, bad breakups. We're talking about, people that are trying to start their lives over in the midst of maybe, some turmoil, a death in the family. And so all of these characters kind of are, piggyback off one another as they tell each of their stories, their secrets, their truths. And that's how we kind of came up with the title.
Excellent, excellent. And so again, it is this Sunday, September 9th at 4 p.m. That's Chicago time, Central Time.
Absolutely. Get
At
your
the
tickets online at eventbrite.com. Couples, Secrets, Truth, and Love. Get your tickets. Get your
Yes,
tickets. Did I
yes.
say get your tickets?
And if you didn't,
Yes.
and if by the way, if you didn't say this, get your tickets. Yeah, yeah, definitely. You will get a
Get
copy
your
of
tickets.
the DVD at the release. You get to see.
Absolutely.
Are all the stars going to be there, or just the Hallelujah
Yes.
woman? Okay.
We are so fortunate that we will have the entire cast there for a Q&A, an opportunity to take pictures with the characters that you loved, in the stage play. The Q&A we think is really important because like I said, we touch upon a number of subjects, um, uh, especially in dealing with the characters of Mason and Ty and Elise and Fabricia. We can't forget Fabricia.
No,
And
we can't.
and so I think the when you come out, you'll see more and more what we're talking about and the necessity. Because what we're striving to do is through our creativity to address our humanity, and I think that this is what this play represents. About now that you see the foibles of our characters, how do you respond to them now? Now that you see their truths.
I love it. So again, you can go out to eventbrite.com and get more
Mm-hmm.
information about the play and get your tickets now. Get your tickets now, not later. Get your tickets now. We want to have
Yes,
a full turnout for this wonderful place, and we want to support local plays. We want to support not just, and I'm not
absolutely,
going to say just African American plays. We want to support the literary arts in all its different cultures, so that we can
absolutely.
continue to enrich our lives and continue to see other aspects of life and continue to see wonderful playwrights like Dorian H.Nash.
Now, you know what? Do me a favor, because I don't think the people, and obviously I wrote it, I directed it, and I have a great team behind me. I have my co-executive producer, Pastor Gerald Miller, and my executive team that really helped us. But you had a chance to see the play,
Yeah.
so tell them the impact, if you don't mind, the impact of what you felt or what you got from it, because I can talk about it all day long, but it's great when other people can hear about it as well.
Baby, let me tell you, if you like cliffhangers, then you're gonna love this play.
Mm,
If you like a play that takes you emotionally and mentally as well as physically up and down and through and around, then you're going to like this play. If you like great actors, if you like good comedy, if you like good content in your play, all wrapped into one, then Couples is the play for you. If you are with a friend, if you're in a relationship, if you're married, if you're divorced, if you're separated, if you're thinking about getting married again, if you haven't never been married before, every couple is represented in this play. And when I say every couple, every couple is, and that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. If you
wow,
want
that was
more, you gotta come.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You can send me the check.
I mean, really, I tell you, you might have to come and MC Sunday. I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk to my people
Have
if
my
you're
people
free.
call, have your people call my people. Now, are you going to have any copies of the book there too, or just the DVD?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, so all of our cast would be there. We'll have copies of the book, copies of the DVD. One of our cast members has also produced a CD, and she'll have copies of her CD, What I'm Healing With, and she'll be selling her CD as well. That's Alexis Queen Owens. She'll be selling her CD, selling the book, Do You Love Me Still? You'll get your keepsake copy of the DVD. I mean, come on now. For $25, you really, I mean, come on, you can't get any better than that.
I love it. Well, we thank you. We definitely support you here at the Unstoppable Story Show. I'm so proud of seeing how it went from a vision into reality. And as we were just talking with our other host, Loren Harris, there are young people that in your own house that
Yes,
have another ideal of what they can be now that they
yes,
have seen you become an author, now that they've seen you be a playwright multiple times, now that they've
yes,
seen a production with people in the cast that look like them, when they've seen a
yes,
production where people behind the scenes look like them. Now
yes,
our younger generation can see that they just don't have to be athletes, or they just don't have to be bus drivers, or they just don't have to be drug dealers. They can be actors and actresses. They can be
yep,
playwrights and screenplay writers. They can be
absolutely.
authors. The world is wide open just because you, Dorian H.Nash, and your wonderful husband Sean
Yes,
took
can't
the
forget my
opportunity
husband. Yep,
and went with the vision of creating this book that now has had the ripple effect and the ripple effect and the ripple effect. Two people, one person can affect another person, two people can affect many people can affect the whole world. And that's what
absolutely.
this play is going to do.
Well, and you couldn't have said it better, but I just want to say we're hoping that we can make the world a little bit better, one story at a time.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're striving to do with the things that we publish, the things that we produce with the plays, that we're trying to make the world a little bit better because of the stories that we're telling and the impact. So thank you for giving us this about couples, and our event that's coming up September 9th at Studio Movie Grill, 4 p.m. Get your tickets at eventbrite.com. Couples, Secrets, Truth, and Love. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So we're going to ask you when you put you back in the green room to put all that information in the comments, so people will have no excuse why they didn't get their tickets and why they weren't there. And again,
Absolutely.
thank you so much
Thank
for taking a
you.
little bit of your time, your busy schedule, to hang out with me on the Unstoppable Story Show and inspire our guests. And as always, you know what? You keep being unstoppable, Dorian. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Dorian H.Nash, the play Couples, September 9th, 4 p.m. Studio Movie Grill here in the city of Chicago. Go to eventbrite.com, look up the information. She's also going to put the information in the comment section. All right, you guys. Well, that is absolutely a wrap. Thank you so much once again for being a part of the Unstoppable Story Show, where we talk to ordinary people with unstoppable stories. You got a lot to chew on today. You got a lot to think about. Are you going to be part of the solution? Or are you going to continue to be part of the problem? That's what it is by default. Either you're one or the other. You can't ride the fence. You can't be a spectator when we need participators. We don't need one person to do everything, but we need everyone to just do one thing. And if you do one thing and you couple your talents with my talents, then we can couple our talents with somebody else's talents. Then we can create powerful plays. We can write fabulous books. We can put on phenomenal productions. We can open up the mansion to some young men and women who need to see something that they never seen before and recognize that they don't have to be stopped because they can be unstoppable. All right, you guys, that's my time. Hey, have a wonderful week. It's September, y'all. It's the fourth quarter. Finish strong. Don't get stopped. Be unstoppable. You can do it. You have everything inside of you. You have talents, abilities, and gifts that are going to take you to the next level. So don't believe the naysayers that say you can't do it. Don't believe those people that say you can't be everything you want to be. Because here's the one thing I know, and I'm going to tell it to the day I die, because he is unstoppable. That means that I can be unstoppable. And if I can be unstoppable, then hey, you can be unstoppable too. So wherever you are in the world this week, you know what I say? Don't just make it a great day. I want you to go out and make it an unstoppable day. And we will see you next week. Take care.